Good morning everyone, let's pick up where we left off. So I was working on the almighty 2 meter long sunshade for the truck. So last night I templated out what I needed, waited for this to dry, and then I got a hacksaw and I cut out the shapes. And then this morning I've just sprayed it with some satin black, mainly to get the edges here. And the edges on this side and the edges on this side. That way any of the material that I put on this that isn't overlapping is still going to be covered. And then we've also got to put these little diamond dudes on the bottom down here like this. And you can see that that's going to hide that pretty well, all that fish netting. And then this material here, which is some excess I had left over from doing the backing of the truck. Thankfully is only just long enough and thick enough to cover my piece of wood. Will be sandwiched on the wood like this, and then the diamonds will come out the bottom. Voila! Now it is always a pain finding a good adhesive grip. I've used Permatex multiple times and honestly very disappointed in Permatex. Every time I use it, it just does not work correctly. It also doesn't seem to be able to handle any of the Australian heat. However, my friend next door that does all the seats and upholstery for trucks specifically says this is what he uses on the truck. So I'm going to give this a go today. This is T65. We'll put it to the test and we'll see how it's going to go, and we're going to put it on one of the most relentlessly sun-bashed items that are going to be in this truck. As well as sewing scissors. These things are really important. Normal scissors will not be up to the job. A lot of the time they cut the material and they fray and they're just not sharp enough. These cost about anywhere from 20 to 60 bucks. Definitely worth it. I'm not a sewing kind of person, but my god, these things have been so useful for cutting out sound deadening, for cutting materials, for cutting a whole bunch of stuff specifically for my car. So been a great tool to have. And today we'll be using the fabric glue by Gorilla for the diamonds. So diamonds on the fabric glue. This is for usually putting sequins and stuff and gems and stuff on, I don't know, dressing, like dress clothes and stuff. And then this one will be for the flat surface adhesive. Alright, let's template this up before we start applying things and make sure that we have enough material. Prepped the first side, figured out where I'm going to lay all these things, and I've put some tape on the top here to support it while I get the glue, and get under the material here and glue that little seam. You can kind of see. So there's two seams on these diamantes, so I've lined that seam up there with the edge of the MDF board. Whoops. So I can then put this fishnet stuff on either side to support. But to do that, it's kind of tricky. So with this taped up, I can put little splodges of the sequin glue on the edge here, and then affix the edges of this and have it hold and dry. And then once that's dry, I'll still have these flappy bits here loose. My truck is 2 meters long, but we've got these wiggly bits on the side, so thankfully I bought 2 packets of this so I can do the rest of this side here. This is working out well. I have flipped this upside down after gluing the other side. You can see I've still got all these little black guys here. So I'm just going to get this stuff here, which is weld bond. I actually bought this for doing this part here. What I'm going to do is I have a paintbrush for dispersion purposes, and we're going to put some weld bond on the edge here. I've already done the other side. I don't know if I can show you from under here. Not really, but comes out white and then goes crystal clear, which is nice, so I can see where all my excess is and clear it out and keep it nice and flat and smooth, so when I do put my material on, it'll be very minimally seeable and very strong. cut little pie cuts in this material, that way when I push it down and bend it on these circular bits, it doesn't crease and stays nice and flat. Whereas if I didn't, it'd probably look pretty bad and it would bunch up and you'd see it through the material. We've got some JZ doing skids in the background here. He has a bit of a misfire past about 5,000 RPM. I think he came down to my end of my street here just to do a skid or something and then take off, so. Anyway, doing my shelf, continuing on with my shelf. It's been a couple of days of trial and error. It's looking nice. So we templated up all the alloy brackets, so you would have remembered these only came in little half brackets like this, so we welded 2 long ones here and then we cut like one of these down into a half and done the middles. And then what I've done here is I've added an extra bit on the ends here and on the middle here to add height for the mounting points. And tonight I've just been sanding off and cutting up the edges of the perspex here so we get that nice diffusion of light, and fixing up my angles here because these butt against the top of the A pillar above the windscreen, so I want to make sure there's no sharp points here, because if we put a sub system in this truck, something's going to rattle. I've been using little nylon nut things, and I kind of shot myself in the foot here because of the nature of how this is mounted. I have to use these guys to mount them up into the roof because they have to go from the top down, and I can't use my stainless ones, these guys here that I bought, because button tops and Phillips head will not work that close to the roof. So these are what I've been using. I had to cut off the ends of those, so you can see there's a proper one, there's a cut off one. So the point's gone, so they wouldn't bottom out on this and come through my perspex. But waiting for these guys to dry now. I've got my little tab guy here. I had to custom make all this. It was so painful. I'm still going. I'm about 90% there. I've done most of the hard bits. Now the last couple of bits I have to do is the single holes here and over here to mount onto the side, up where the handles are, like right there. And then the second last bit will be little brackets here made out of some really thin alloy stuff. These aren't support brackets, these are just kind of more notional brackets just to hold the corners in. They won't be holding too much weight, so stuff like this will be unnecessary. I've got some black stuff for the nice sparkly visor that I'm about to show you that is now done. This one, here we go. So it's really, really bendy and flimsy. And this guy here is a bit more. Okay, so the black ones will add support to the sunshade, and these guys will be able to bolt onto the thing. And I bought a couple of these just in case I liked silver over black, or if I wanted to use these for more brackets. But we'll see. I'm making up as I go, and this shelf is full DIY custom, and I build cars, not shelves. I'm not a house person, and this is way out of my field of expertise, so I think it's looking pretty good, all things considered, for a truck shelf. So it should get some nice ambient light if I have a light on me. No, I don't. But it will look like this. Imagine that with purple or pink neon strips through the roof and tucked up and stuff, and then we've got chandeliers and stuff. This one too, we have our end done. So I forgot to show you guys this one earlier because we were dealing with some rusty screws here that won't come out, so I've got to probably angle grind them off later. But this is called an andon. Now this is the light that lights up, also supposedly purple. I've got to pull this apart and test it. I bought it secondhand on Yahoo Japan auctions, and thanks to Jessie Streeter I can get most of this stuff over, which is wonderful. Thank you, Jessie. I haven't put this on yet also because my bull bar is in the way. So yeah, this guy goes, ooh, scary, up under, right there. But yeah, I didn't want to put him on yet until the bull bar is done and until I figure out if the light works or not. But in the meantime, since you saw me last, went off to a stainless shop. We got a stainless quote for getting the back of the truck done to look kind of like this. I'll insert right here, probably there. So this will be
without the bugs. This will be the design, roughly. I think it's off a toy. Oh. Okay, cool. The design is off a toy. I don't know if it's a real design. I've never seen it on a truck before, but I wanted something that looked cool and kind of like streety, but wasn't overly trucky, but was still low and I can customize. So I'm gonna do probably about 100, 110 mil off the ground, but trucks have a long wheelbase, so I have to be careful. If I go over a speed bump or whatever, I can beach it out. And being stainless, it'll just bend and then I'll absolutely destroy it and it'll look like garbage. So gotta be careful, but it'll have like a little side skirt flare thing on the bottom, kind of like, doesn't really, kind of like this guy here, right there. This is one of the new arrivals that we are working on soon, or Ben is working on. It is very, very sex spec. Very, very, very sex spec. Pretty cool though. And in the meantime, we now have another 32 shell, and I may have bought another car this morning. Whoops. Sorry, not sorry, I'll show you soon. But in the meantime, we've also been working on getting the truck. Let me get my light. Getting the truck's gearbox fixed. So we had an issue where the rear main decided to leak after we got the box back in. Hello, Benjamin.
Oh.
And destroyed the handbrake shoes and that kind of thing as well. We've got brand new gear selector cables. Big thanks to Atlas Truck Parts. The guys came through with them. And they've been legends. And now we have the gearbox back in and the handbrake back in and the tail shaft back in again. And some of the interior is still in. We're getting there. Hopefully I can get my shelf done tonight so then I can tuck all this up and be done with that already. And then we can move on to pulling out, well, partially pulling out most of the dash here and doing some funky stuff with the dash and the door guards. Hello!
Yes, very bright.
You haven't seen the guys in a while. Would you like to say hi?
Hi.
Wait. Non-sponsored product placement. No, legit. Jesse is actually going to be tuning this very, very soon. Good news on this one too. We've just got to throw the rebuilt diff into that now and then put an IET into it. And then it should be good to send off to Jesse at Martic Tuning. Seriously guys, if you need your car tuned and you are local, you cannot get better than Jesse. Jesse is a freaking legend. Are you doing a dance there?
TT dance.
Yeah, TT dance. You gotta flex the pecs. Go.
It's a heavy lift.
Yeah, that's the hips. It's not in the hips. Anyway. But yeah, so I think I caught you mostly up to speed. But yeah, the shelf is doing my head in. I've got to finish off the shelf and then I can move on to other stuff. And we're still waiting on the 11 boxes from Japan. It seems that we've had a little bit of delay due to some shipping stuff on the Japan side coming across over to here. So waiting out eagerly for them, and then we can do all that super fun Dekotora stuff that is all coming. So the serious stuff like the ladders, the visor, the front chrome bumper, a million lights, like 200, maybe 300 purple lights, neons. We can do the chrome rockets. We've got chrome Hoshi star fog indicators. A lot. I bought sparkly things the other day. Okay, wait. In my defense, right, I'm not making this truck girly. It's not girly at all. You guys know me. Like, look at me. I'm not the girly. I don't fit that category at all. So please don't judge me when I say I'm putting shiny things in the truck, because Dekotoras are all about going above and beyond and being crazy and being obnoxious and just going over the top. So the best way I could think about doing that was add shiny things, because I like shiny things. So
What are you thinking? 30 weight? 40 weight?
40 weight. With some Lokisx.
SR20s will put premium 1 week before.
You know me, I don't use SR20s. Well, I lie, there's one right there. Well, I don't use it. It's sitting there. Alright, you need Lokisx, yes? We're using heavy duty Lokisx stabilizer for the gearbox. I do have another one of them too. Do you need the second one?
The bottle of oil.
And the bottle of oil. どこなんですか? どこ I don't know where I put it. Is that it? No. Yes, no, yes, no. Is that mine? I have no idea. There's so many bottles of oil around here.
Put it in the truck itself, plug in the
maybe.
containers.
I don't know. Oh, maybe it's over here actually. There's the other stabilizer. Here you go. This is a sound gear still. So we've got to get all this in. There's a lot of it. And yeah, there was the old shelf that came out of the truck that we are replacing with the custom new shelf. It's pretty gross, pretty boring. And what I've actually done is, you can see how much distance here. I've extended my shelf by this much, so I've got an extra. So it was like that, now it's like that. So I've got more room. This guy might go on the edge of the shelf to stop things from falling on my face, but we'll see.
Yoink.
Yoink. I also bought Benjamin an axle for the Beamer after like the 3rd try, so we now have an axle in the Beamer and no more pegging. We have power back in the 1 Series.
Lovely.
It was fun. Oh, and I have the fan. Did I tell them about that?
No idea.
I don't know if I told you guys about this. Well, there's the new OEM fan, and here is the damage. That new fan, not that fan, a GK Tech fan exploded and munched my bonnet. Why do I keep showing you guys this in the dark? I'm sorry, black cars in the dark is horrible to see. I'll show you tomorrow in the daytime. You're chocking it with Lucas. Oh, Jesus. That's thick. Gonna wait like half a century for it to go down. Unfortunately, it's probably a bit too late tonight, but we could have done blast pipes on the truck. See, we're gonna pull. You see that doubles back on itself, so like the exhaust comes down, goes through the muffler, then comes back up, and then goes straight up here. So all of this is like pretty useless, excessive junk that we don't need, that's taking up a lot of room. So get rid of all that, keep the muffler obviously, because it's a diesel, and put blasties out the side. I'm not trying to make the truck louder though, we're just trying to get rid of all this excess that we don't need that's taking up room. Alright, it's getting late, and there's too many bugs. For whatever reason, the heat wave has brought out all the bugs, and it's terrible. But here we go, there's the shelf in. I've just got to do these 2 little mounts up under here. You're not able to see. Go away, bugs! There's too many bugs. Like, that's one of them. But, yeah, like they're flying into my eyes and into my ears and into my mouth. It's not good. So, yeah. Shelf. Shelf looks sick. Right, it's lit up from the top. It'll shine a nice dispersion of light in the truck. GoPro is not great at picking up night vision, so just take my word for it. And the truck is ready for testing tomorrow with the gearbox redone, tail shafts back on, handbrake is back done. Big thank you to Benjamin. Please leave a thank you to Benjamin in the comments. Yeah, we can test the truck, and then tomorrow night everything needs to be in the truck and ready, because on the Monday afternoon we need to go pick up another new car. I haven't had one of these before yet, so if you are a veteran to the channel, you can look forward to this one. I have not owned one of these, so it is a whole new ball ground of car. And yeah, and then we'll continue on with the mods on the truck. We have so many mods to go. Next thing I want to do, probably in the daylight though, is sort out this end. And we've just been battling the weather lately because it's been hot as. It's been like 35-40 degrees with 100% humidity. It's absolute death to try and work in down here in the middle of the sun. Okay, Benjamin, would you like to wrap it up for me? Alright. Okay, that's okay. Thought he was being mean to you guys. Alright, bye! Have fun!